everyone. Welcome to our special report, Feminism in the Internet Age, Voices, Challenges and Transformations. I'm Yuhan.
I'm Liuyun.
Today, with the rapid development of the Internet, the feminist movement has embraced a new grand stage, from online support to offline actions, from academic discussion to mass communication. How has the Internet reshaped the expression of feminism? What different demands of women from different generations? Today, through perspectives of multiple interviews, we will explore these profound questions together.
Recent years, cases like Liuyun movement and Tangshan assault have sparked the intense debate online. The internet hasn't just amplified the women's voice, and it pushes itself to reflect on gender-based violence. So, how exactly the internet shaped the rules of feminism? Let's hear from our interviewees.
In Malaysia, there's a Make School a Safer Place movement related to the issue of sexual harassment in school, initiated by Malaysian teenagers called Ain Niza Saiful Nizam. Through the internet, it increased awareness of society about school sexual harassment issue in Malaysia.
长沙的代孕事件，因为涉及到了一部分女大学生还有聋哑人这样的弱势群体的利益，所以在网络上引起了很大的社会舆论。而互联网的便捷性就为我们发表言论提供了很大的帮助。依靠互联网的传播，引起了女性对自己身体权利这种合法权益的关注，包括很多年前的网约车遇险的事件。公众通过互联网去向国家机关提出一些建议，去改变互联网一些 APP 里面的规则也好，通过这样的在互联网上面的行动来改变网约车不安全的现状。现在
50 years ago last year, women got to vote, I hear, but we just sat on dusty shelves because we never helped ourselves.
Feminist voices today span across generations. Our mothers live in pre-internet era, where are in digital natives. But what are the key differences between the feminist demise and ours? So let's dive into the generational shift.
I think number one is that they mainly fought for very common cause, common goal. For example, we're looking at equality in terms of, not equality, opportunities in job, for example, in work particularly, and also education. So mainly it was workforce, it was education. A lot of times it was that. That's number one. But nowadays it goes beyond that. It goes into sexual harassment, it gets into cyberbullying. A lot of many different aspects are being discussed, being integrated, being included in this movement. Number two, I think, is the platform. So in the past, the platform for such movement, in voicing out their opinions and whatnot, it was more of the formal, institutional kind of platforms. But nowadays we have the internet. So I think a lot of the movements are now using the internet as the platform, and we can understand that internet or digital platforms have a lot of advantages. You have virality, you can share, you can tweet, and that can spread to many different parts of the world, and making support for such movement gets stronger.
The internet native generations not only demands to have right to voice out their opinion, but also asking for same level of respect, protection, and also opportunity in the society.
和上一代相比，我们的诉求是更加具体和更加细致的，更加的个性化。
What happens when the feminist hysteria out of the classroom into everyday life? What can the public gain from understanding feminism, and what challenges come with it? We ask some experts to weigh in.
Because of the internet, somehow, feminism has become more visible. So studies have been done, for example, within academia, but a lot of times the findings are not as easy as it may seem to be shared with the general public. So what happens is that you've got findings, you've got research and findings which are used within academia, the academic world. We learn about it and whatnot. But spreading it to the public is not as easy. But with the internet, that can be shared. Certain terms pertaining to feminism, gaslighting, for example, and then emotional labor, toxic masculinity, for example, all these terms have become quite familiar now because they are used a lot within the internet, digital platforms in specific. All right. So I think what the internet has done, or digital platform has done, is that it has in a way provided a platform, a bridging what we have in the academia to the public. So the transfer of the information awareness is made a lot faster. But of course, there will be some challenges in that sense because we're talking about access to the internet, for example. Not everybody has equal access.
Leslie, we will see more and more feminist content co-promotion, but does it help to spread this message, or what it does?
的这种商业化对女性主义传播的积极作用是更大的。一些品牌会推出女性主题的产品，或者是在他们产品里印一些女权主义的标语。那么我觉得这种行为对于我们的女权主义思想的传播，它影响确实是比较大，但是它也有消极的一方面。它的这个句子可能比较的标签化，比较的偏说教意味，并没有很深刻的阐释它的思想内涵，它仅仅就是一个口号。但是我认为推动作用是更重要的，因为哪怕它只是一句口号，它也比不喊这句口号要 强很多。
Malaysia, feminist takes on unique dimension due to the country's rich mix of group cultures and religions. So what special challenges and opportunities do feminists face here? Let's listen to local voices.
In Malaysia, this issue is a little bit more complex, I would say. Yeah, because we have different types of racial groups, and we can understand that in each racial group there are certain issues which may not be considered as important or as pertinent as it would be in some other cultural group. So being multicultural, being multi-religious, yeah, so I think there would be more complexity, and there will be more challenges, yeah, among the women in Malaysia. Therefore, I think whatever propositions, example, have to be explored in greater details, because one solution does not fix all. We may have a general guideline, but specific to individual groups, because certain things are acceptable perhaps within one cultural group, but the very same thing may not be acceptable in another cultural group.
Through today's discussion, we have seen how the internet adds new energy to feminism, and we have heard different voices from different regions and generations. Thank you for all the interviewees for their sharing, and thank you all for watching. The path of feminism is still stretching. Each of us can be a part of the change. See you next time.